Greetings everyone, this is Rambling Collector here, and welcome back for another book review. So, for the subject of this video, before I begin, I have one major question. For those of you who live in the northern United States, how many of you have visited one of your local coffee shops, aka Big B's? How many of you have walked into that store, looked over to a random shelf, and seen two colorful books sitting there, a red and a blue one? How many of you have ever been curious to pick it up and really explore the story of how this particular coffee shop brand began from its history of humble beginnings all the way to what it is now? Well, that was my personal take on it when I visited Big B's a few times and saw these books just sitting there. Now, for those of you wondering, no, I did not pick up the second one, because at first that one looked very, very thick, and as tempting as it was, I decided to at least pick up the first one of the series, that being Grind, and really just seeing what it was all about. And I was honestly surprised. So, for today, we're going to be talking about Grind by Michael J. McFall, or, to give the full long cover here, a no bullshit approach to take your business from concept to cash flow. Let's get started. So first and foremost, for overall thoughts here. Despite being a short book in length, this book really does get down to the nitty and gritty of not only starting a new business, but also the various ups and downs that come with either maintaining or even growing a business. So, like I said before, this book really does go into detail about the rise of Big B's, how it began as a humble coffee shop, going from 1 to 2 small locations, all the way to the multiple location span incorporation that it is now. But what neither of us really know is that when starting a business, we never know the various ups and downs, the rises and falls, the various challenges you will see when you are starting up a business. This really does give a full picture of what that struggle can be like. And in many ways, it can be a good idea to look at. But not only that, this provides, again, a great look into the backstory of Big B's, that major coffee shop franchise in the northern United States, from its humble beginnings all the way to its current success. But one of the biggest highlights for me, in my personal opinion, when it came to this particular book, was that it gives some great advice and pointers that not only can be applied professionally in the business world, but also on a personal level in your own life. One that really sticks out to me is consistently keeping a positive attitude. This is one that a lot of us in our daily lives really struggle to maintain. But for those of you in the business world, I'm pretty sure you know this lesson by now. Always keeping the professional customer service face, always providing that smile, making sure to be positive and radiant whenever you talk with someone. This can also be applied to the world of sales as well. A lot of us have to wear that professional mask, but what is important is knowing how to believe that particular face, making it seem real, and in some cases it can be real. Interacting with people on a daily basis can be exhausting at times, but more often than not, it can be rewarding, hence the result of a positive attitude. Now, again, this is only one major example of such, but I believe it was worth talking about. But, with that being said, let us move on, shall we? So, first and foremost, for random thoughts here, I did not know what to expect when it came to this book. I knew that it was basically talking about the world of business, how things can begin. I did not expect to get as much great advice as I did from this one. And honestly, if I can ever go back and reread this one, I'm definitely going to be picking up some of the pointers again to apply to daily goals or even just my average life, to try and maybe make a positive change for myself. But more than that, for those of you who are really starting up a business or looking to start one, I personally recommend this book to you as well. A lot of it goes into the major falls that people will have, such as, of course, people thinking that they know how to run a business because they have experience in some other branch. But in reality, sometimes you wind up falling into the trap, or in some cases, the money pit, spending more than is necessary to keep a business relevant or current. And I'm not going to lie to you, Michael's writing, as you continue through, really paints that picture of just how some people either can or cannot run a business. And the fact that at one point at first, he would build these people up, try to help them out a little bit, only to then later on down the road in his career start applying that bucket of cold water to be realistic and really give these people a clear picture of what exactly it is that they are missing or what they would need to improve. It's a very humbling thing to see, honestly, and I'm very certain a lot of people can remember that time frame where at one point we would always try to appeal to people to help them, but in reality, when they refused to listen, it only backfired more and more horribly. But nowadays, sometimes you have to apply that cold bucket of water to people. It's a harsh reality, but sometimes that's necessary. And that's an important lesson that this book does teach. But with that being said, just to keep this video brief, let's move on to the final score. So, just from how well this whole entire book gripped me, I'd have to give it a solid 10 out of 10. Mainly for the fact that it has been a while since I have done a nonfiction review on this channel, but also just because I did not expect to be as pulled in as I was by a nonfiction book talking about the world of business. But Michael J. McFall, you definitely know how to paint an interesting story, and this is one of the major things I always enjoy about nonfiction works, when they can really pull you in. Some other great examples I have seen thus far in my recent readings, or at least one major example, is The Wager. And for those of you who are curious to check out that video, it is in my nonfiction reviews playlist on this channel. And if you're curious to check that out, then I will leave a link to the end of the video here for you to look at. Or if you just want to see all the various books and stuff that I have covered on this channel, I will leave a link to that playlist as well. And before I leave, I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for listening to this crazy man's ramblings from the depths of my inner library. And if you did like this video, feel free to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, share the video, and subscribe if you're curious for more. I promise you all I will always have something new and unique popping up on this channel, and you never know, I might just surprise you with a book you've either heard about or have never seen before. Either way, thank you all again so much for listening. This is Rambling Collector, signing off for now, and have a great day, fellow readers, and I will see you all in the next review.